Hey rowers, welcome to a Catalyst Q&A. This is a spot where we're going to take a deeper dive into a question that came up in training. And the challenge for you is to watch through this, think about your own rowing stroke and what might be applicable, to be courageous and try some things new in terms of how you think about your stroke and some drills and how you work through your stroke. The challenge for me is to, once I've put the question out there, to offer my answer and insights in 5 minutes or less so that we can get you on with your day. That's going to be a real challenge for me, probably harder than you just trying some new things. So your challenge is an easy win, mine, we will see. The question that came up is, when I'm at the catch in my stroke, should I think about opening up the shoulder joint? This is called protraction. So extending my shoulder out more. Should I think about protracting my shoulder to get more length at the catch and thus a potentially longer and stronger stroke? So once again, at the catch, should I open up or protract my shoulder to get more reach and then more length and strength into my stroke? All right, that's the question. The answer and insights I'm going to give you, I'm going to try for 5 minutes or less. Let's get ready to start the clock. Let me organize my thoughts. Oh, keep in mind who we are as a training group. We are rowers that row on the water and train on land. We are athletes who tend to be in their 40s and up. That's not true across the board, but it tends to be. And so when we tend to be a combination of folks who have trained and raced on the water and folks who have learned on the stationary rower, and that's the extent or the bulk of their training. So just keep that in mind when I give you these insights. Now I can start the clock. All right, here we go. So should we protract or open up our shoulders at the catch for more strength and length on our stroke? My answer is yes, but mostly no. Yes, but mostly no. So why the yes? The yes is true. If we're at a strong catch position and we open up our shoulders more, you'll see that chain gets shorter. It gets closer to that return box. I am going to have a potentially longer stroke. I'm going to have more hang and leverage if I'm in a boat, and I'm going to have more strength and movement of my boat through the course of the drive all the way to the release or finish. It's true. But no, I'm going to say no. Why? Because number one, that should not be the primary thing in mind. What I want you to think about is all the stuff that leads up to that strong catch where we can make a subtle difference, like protracting our shoulder. It requires a lot of body awareness. It requires a strong and consistently repeatable good catch position and drive initiation anyway. So what tends to happen when we overthink, oh, I just got to extend my shoulders? Here's what tends to happen. A couple of things. For most of us training where we are, when we think protract the shoulders at the catch, we tend to dump ourselves down into the catch. Why is this problematic? Number one, if I asked you to pick a really heavy barbell up off the floor and you were in this position, it's not going to feel such, you're going to hurt. You're going to put yourself in a position where you might get hurt. If I asked you to pick up that heavy load from this position, now we're talking. So it puts us, when we overthink the extension of the shoulder, it tends to put us into a catch position that puts us at risk for not feeling so good. And when we want to row stronger for longer, we want to feel good, right? Number two, when we start from this position, a couple things happen. Number one, we may tend to shoot the slide. Shooting the slide means that we push our butt and legs before the handle moves. We get a little push and then the handle comes with us. If the handle doesn't come with you, that means your boat's not moving. That means your numbers are not registering on your rower. So why put the push? Why put the effort in if you're not going to get results? No wasted movement. So shooting the slide, not so good. Another thing that tends to happen when we're down here, again, we know this might not feel so good. So something we might do is get ourselves into a better position and then start our drive. So we're down here, I'm so long, and now I feel comfortable pushing. I'm so long, but now I feel comfortable pushing. Again, that's wasted movement. Once I'm up here, there's no parking, there's no waiting, we just start the drive. So if I have to get into position to start the drive, I'm wasting some of my effort and some of the great effort that I put into the previous stroke that could result in great numbers, great boat speed. Number three thing that tends to happen, if we overemphasize protracting our shoulders at the catch, We tend to think, all right, I got to move from this weird position into a position of strength. I'm going to start to move that handle by pulling it along, opening my body early, and then catching up with the leg drive. So I want to feel good and strong. So I pull up and then I push. That's going to be some big load into your low back. Once you get up here and open that body, now anything I push with the legs, instead of moving the handle with lats and these strong, stable muscles, now I've loaded my low back. And that's not going to keep you rowing stronger for longer. It's not going to feel good after just a few strokes. So again, the three kind of pitfalls that we fall into when we look at protracting those shoulders, we tend to shoot the slide. We tend to get ourselves into position and then push into the drive, or we tend to pull up and open up early. None of these are great things for rowing stronger for longer. So what can we do instead? Oh gosh, we've got less than a minute to tell you. Find that strong catch position. Relax the shoulders. Find where you want to be. Run it as a pause drill. Go through your strokes, pause that body over. Once you found that body position, it does not change as you go all the way up into the catch. It does not change, and then you push and drive. Do that every other stroke. Go full, and then pause, okay? The other thing to do in just the few seconds we have left, when you're warmed up, blood's moving a little bit, just move through that protraction and retraction. Get to know your shoulders and your range of motion. Move through elevation and depression. Elevation, depression, protraction, retraction. My time is up, but bottom line is this: get to know your shoulder movements when the risk is low. Standing, waking up in the morning after a little bit of warm up, the risk is low to work through these. When you're up here middle piece, the risk is high. Don't work on it at that point. Yes, it will increase your stroke length and potential leverage to unhinge those shoulders a little bit more at the catch. But the risk at most of the level of training where we are right now, the risk to our capability to row longer and stronger into our 60s, 70s, 80s, it's too high. So until you get to know your shoulders 100%, protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, where the sweet spot is, where my body wants to be for the catch, and then not deviating from that position, then the risk is too high to make your focal point this unhinging or protraction of the shoulders. Take your focus somewhere else. Take it to knowing your shoulder in a low risk situation. Take it out on a date, get to know it, and take it into good body prep position for the catch. That's where I want you to focus. I went over. That means half a point in your column. But still, can you hold up your end of the bargain and try some of these new ways of thinking and drilling as you train next? I'm going to send you some extra credit videos to watch as well that will give context. We will show you both, yes, some people training to really get full extension, full protraction of those shoulders when they're training to row on the water. Helpful hint, notice what age they are. And then we'll go through a couple extra credit videos too that show you some drills to work on and some things to really think about where you might fall into some of those risks if you're overly fixated on the shoulders or getting this long hand reach, arm reach at the catch. What can you focus on instead to keep you rowing stronger for longer? Always keep in mind, look for what you can use. Sometimes what I say might not resonate, but what you see in another video, you're like, that's what we were talking about. Look for what you can use. Have fun rowing, have fun trying something new, and thanks for tuning in. Now I've really gone over the time. I'll see you next time. Bye.